Hello, good evening. Let me show you today's agenda. Welcome to the course. For today's agenda, we will recap on some of the structure strategies that we practiced on the previous class. Then I will show you some more structure strategies along with some structure practice. And we're going to finish with some reading strategies along with reading practice. Well, last session we talked about sentence structure, and we said that any clause needs to have a subject and a verb to be considered complete. And then we also started talking that some sentences may have multiple clauses, may have two or more clauses, in which case each of the clause will need a subject and a verb to be considered complete. Same as a single clause, a simple sentence, they need this. So make sure, as we said before, that each clause has a subject and a verb. Check if the clauses are correctly joined. And that's pretty much what we said last class. Today we're going to talk about noun clause connector. A noun clause can function as a noun. It can either be the subject or the object of a sentence. For example, I know when he will arrive. All of this is the noun clause acting as the object of the verb, as the object of a sentence. I know, what do you know? When he will arrive. I am concerned about when he will arrive. Now, this is the object of a preposition. If you see right after the verb, I have a preposition and my clause. Or as a subject, like in this case. When he will arrive is not important. All of this is the subject of the sentence. So basically, noun clause connectors, sentences with noun clauses, will follow this structure. You will see words like what, when, where, why, how, whatever, whenever, whether, if, that, at the beginning of the noun clause, like in this case, when he will arrive. So we'll usually have a subject verb, which will be my first clause, and then the object of the sentence, which could be a noun clause. Or I can have a noun clause functioning as the subject of the sentence. When he will arrive, I have the connector, subject verb, was wrong. Why is a verb like duplicate? Because this is the verb of the sentence, whereas this is a verb of the clause. Let's do this exercise. And it says each of the following sentences contains more than one clause. So identify those clauses, see if they're acting as a subject or the object of the sentence, and then determine if the sentence is correct or incorrect. For example, number 1, it says, when the season starts, we have one of the noun clause connectors, when, is determined by the weather. In this case, the sentence is correct because I have my clause here, subject verb, which makes a complete clause, acting as the subject of the sentence. Subject, verb, is determined by the weather. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is incorrect, but let's see why. It says the manual, how, and I have here how. Yes, I have my connector. The manual How the device should be built. Although this is acting like the object of the sentence, there is no verb before this. Yes, there's no verb preceding this clause. That's why this sentence is incorrect. Okay, so I'll give you 3 minutes to complete these remaining exercises. Okay, let's check the answers. We already checked and talked about 1 and 2. Let's see, number 3 is correct. Number 4 is incorrect. Why? Because it is missing a connector, which could be why he refused. Number 5, incorrect. It's missing a subject, which could be we talked. Number 6, incorrect. There is an extra subject, which is this one, it. Yes. Number 7, correct. Number 8, incorrect. There's a verb missing, which could be when the paper is due is certain. Number 9, incorrect. It is missing a connector. It could be when the contract will be awarded. And number 10 is correct. Let's continue practicing with noun clauses. Remember that a noun clause can act as the object or the subject of the verb. And the connector subjects like who, whoever, what, whatever, which, or whichever act as a noun connector, or as a subject. Like this one. I don't know what is in the box. What is a noun clause, and this is acting as the object of the verb. Let's see the second example. It says, we are concerned about preposition. Who will do the work? It is acting as the object of the preposition. And I have who, which is like the subject of the clause. Same as here. What is the subject or noun in the clause? And the one as a subject, we have whoever is coming to the party must bring a gift. Whoever is the subject of the clause. So typically, all of these words, who, whoever, what, whatever, which, whichever, can function as the subject of the clause. Like this one, what is, who will, whoever is. And we will typically have this structure. We have a subject verb. Subject verb, my noun clause as the object, and my verb. Or I can have my subject verb, which is a noun connector, and the verb. Let's practice with this exercise. And again, identify the two clauses and make sure that they are complete, that they're correct. Remember that words like who, whoever, what, or whatever can function as the subject of the clause. Let's look at the first two. Number one, the game show contestant was able to respond to whatever was asked. In this case, the sentence is correct. I have two clauses. The game show contestant, subject verb, was able to respond to whatever, the subject, was asked. Number two, you should find out which the best physics department. This sentence is incorrect. Why? I have two clauses, subject verb, you should find. I have here the first one. Next one, subject, but then I have no verb. Yes, the second clause is missing a verb. So continue with the rest of this individually, and again, I'll give you 3 minutes to answer. Okay, let's check the answers. We already checked 1 and 2. So let's go straight to number 3. Number 3 is correct. Number 4, incorrect. It is missing a verb. Signing could be must sign. Number 5, incorrect. There's an extra subject. We could omit he. Who he had, because we already have the who. The who is the subject of the clause. Number 6, correct. Number 7, correct. Number 8, incorrect. It is missing a verb, which could be whatever is. Number 9, correct. Number 10, incorrect. It is missing a verb, which could be whoever is. Let's continue with clauses. Now we're going to talk about adjective clauses. Now, an adjective clause describes a noun. So it will be positioned right after the noun. Let's see this example. The woman is filling the glass that she put on the table. This is an adjective clause because it's describing where the glass is that she put on the table. Number 2, the glass that she put on the table contains milk. Again, this clause is describing the glass. These are called adjective clauses. Now, adjective clauses will also use connectors like we saw in noun clauses. What are these connectors? Whom for people, which for things, and that for both, for people or things. And the structure will follow this arrangement. I like the book, noun, which you recommended. This is an adjective clause describing the book right after the noun. The book which you recommended was interesting. Sometimes the adjective connectors can be omitted. This omission is very common when we speak in spoken English or in casual written English. It is not as common in formal English or in structured questions on the TOEFL test, so you will see these adjective connectors in formal academic exams such as the TOEFL. Let's do this exercise. Let's see number 1. It says, it is important to fill the form the way, this is my noun, that you have been instructed. It is subject verb, that my connector, you have been instructed, subject verb, correct sentence. Number 2, the car, noun, which I have been driving for 5 years, for sale at a really good price. I have my noun here. It is following this structure. Noun, my subject, and my verb. But that doesn't happen here. I have the car for sale. I have no verb. That's why this sentence is incorrect. Okay, so continue on your own and then we will check all together. I'll give you 3 minutes. Okay, let's check. Number 3, incorrect. There's an incorrect connector. Whom should be which. Number 4, correct. Number 5, incorrect. There's an extra subject. We should omit it. Number 6, correct. Number 7, correct. Number 8, missing verb, which could be was funny. Number 9, incorrect. There's a missing subject, which could be we were having. And number 10, correct. Now, we already practiced a little bit with adjective clauses, so let's recap. Let me check. I think it's the same one. No. And again, the adjective clause will be placed right after the noun, following a connector, especially in formal written academic English. And this connector can also function as a subject of the clause, like this one. The woman is filling the glass that is on the table. Yes, the adjective connector functions as the subject of the clause. The glass that is on the table contains milk. This is just a little bit different from this one because in this case, in the case that we're looking into right now, the connector is the subject of the clause. Okay? The connectors are the same except for this one. Here we use who for people. In the previous one, we had whom. For people. So when the connector is acting as a subject, we substitute with who. Which for things or that for both people or things. And again, I need to pay close attention to the subject verb in the first clause and then connector with my verb. Subject, in the middle, I have my clause with the connector and verb, and finally my verb. Let's do this exercise. It says, the ice cream that is served in the restaurant, that subject, verb, is served. The ice cream has a smooth texture, subject, verb. Thus, correct sentence. Number 2. The cars are trying to enter the freeway system are lined up for blocks. Why this is incorrect? Because there is no subject in the second clause. I only have are lined up, like still talking about the cars. Okay? So start working on this. 3 minutes again. Okay, let us check the answers. Number 3, it is incorrect because it is missing a verb, which could be who is. Number 4, incorrect. There's an incorrect connector subject, which could be who. Yes, because we're talking about a person. Number 5, incorrect. There's an extra subject. We should eliminate it. Number 6, correct. Number 7, incorrect. It is missing a connector or subject, which could be which is. Number 8, incorrect. There's an extra subject. We need to omit they. Number 9, correct. Number 10, incorrect. There's a verb missing. It could be that was on sale, are also on sale. Okay. Now the following exercises are questions similar to the ones that you will face in the TOEFL test. Yes. And these integrate sentences with multiple causes. So I'll give you 3 minutes for the first part, and then I'll give you another minute for the second part. And then we'll check the answers all together, okay? So let's get started. Okay, let's check. Number 1, A, 2, D, 3, B, 4, D, 5, C, 6, C, 7, A, 8, B, 9, B, and 10, C. Let's go to this one. Okay, let's check the answers. We have 1A, 2C, 3B, 4A, 5B, 6B, 7C, 8C, and 9D. Okay, we're going to continue with some reading strategies. And I know that sometimes reading could be overwhelming and it could be very time consuming. So remember just to put a little mark on those questions that are taking you just too long, skip them, go on to the next one, and then come back when time is almost over or if you have extra time, okay? And in the past classes, we have been reviewing questions that are kind of overall questions. We were talking about main idea, topic of the text, relationship between paragraphs. And today we're going to focus on questions that can be found in specific parts of the text. One of these types of question is called directly stated questions. Now, directly stated questions ask about one piece of information rather than the passage as a whole, as we have been practicing. This is an example of what a directly stated question might look like. You will have a short passage, and then you'll have a question that requires you to find the answer in a specific part of the text. The question: the passage indicates that Jamestown, and then we have to choose between those four answers. In this case, the correct answer is letter D, was the first permanent English colony in America. Now, how can I identify these type of questions? Well, they will have keywords like according to the passage, it is stated in the passage indicates that, which of the following is true about? Now, the answers to these questions are found in order in the passage. You will not be asked at the final question of a section to locate an answer that is stated at the beginning of the text. They will always follow a sequence. Now, how should you answer this question? Well, it's a very good idea to choose a keyword or some keywords in the questions. Then, skimming through the text to locate those keywords or idea or words that you chose. Then read the sentence, the line that contains the keyword or idea, and start eliminating wrong answers. And finally, choose the best answer from the remaining options. Okay, let's practice. Look, let's look at the question. It says, according to the passage, what happens during an ice age? Yes, this is my key phrase, during an ice age. Number two, the passage covers how many different methods of recognizing past ages. So read it quickly and then we'll check the answers. Sorry. Let's check. Number one, C. Ice covers a large portion of the Earth's surface. And number two, it's B. Two methods. Let's look at this one. It says the passage indicates that the ventricles, this is my keywords. According to the passage, when is blood pushed through the articles from the ventricles, sorry. And number seven, choose the best image. I know that the image, like the scanning is not the best. So if you have a hard time on this one, don't answer it. Just focus on these two. Okay, so let's see. We have 5, 6, and 7. Number 5 is D. Force blood into the arteries. Number 6, A, as the heart beats. And number 7, C, this one here. We can see, we can really see like the arrows because of the copy, but don't worry about this. Let's do another one. The text is a little bit longer, but again, focus on the specific parts of the text and the keywords in the question. It says, click on the drawings that shows the period of the golden age of railroads. That's my keyword, golden age. And I have like Civil War, World War, Civil War, World War One. Again, because of the copy, this is not very clear, so you can skip it. Just follow, focus on questions 11 and 10 and 11. The passage mentions that which of the following occurred as a result of uniformity of track gauge. The passage indicates that standard time was implemented. This is my keyword, standard time. And maybe I will have to find a synonym of implemented. Over here could be result. Maybe I will not see the word result, but maybe a synonym like a consequence, so, as an effect, etc. Okay? Okay, let's see. Number 10 is letter B. 11, D. This is another type of question that you will be asked in the reading section. This type of question include unstated details. That means that you need to find an answer that is not stated, not mentioned, or that is not true. So usually in the options, you will always have 4 options. 3 of them could be true answers and 1 not true, or 3 answers could be true and 1 of them not mentioned. This is an example of what an unstated detailed question can look like. You will have a passage, a short text, and then the question. Which of the following is not true about the word gadget? Like this one. 3 true answers and 1 not true answer. I already have the answer of this one, which is letter B. It was used at the beginning of the 19th century. So we pretty much have to do the opposite that I do in the other type of questions. I will have to verify which of the answers are true and choose the one that is not true or not mentioned. How can I identify these questions? They will ask you something like, which of the following is not stated? Which of the following is not mentioned? Which of the following is not discussed? Or all of the following are true except, remember that the answers will be found in order in the passage. Choose a keyword in the question and then scan the appropriate place in the passage for the keyword or related idea. Read the sentence that contains the keyword or idea carefully. Look for answers that are definitely true according to the passage. Eliminate those because remember you need to find the one that is not true or not mentioned. Let's see this one. Let's look at the questions first. It says, all of the following are true about blood except, yes. Which of the following is not stated about the blood? The correct answers are 1A and 2D. It is a deeply colored liquid. Now, if I check the text, I know that in any of the paragraphs they mention anything about colored liquid. They don't mention that it's a colored liquid. Okay, they talk about red and white blood cells. They talk about how can be mixed, etc. But it never mentions that is a colored liquid. Number 2D. It is a clear, colorless liquid. And if you see, these two are kind of similar. Color liquid, colorless liquid. It is not mentioned in the text anything about the color of the blood. Let's see this one. Which of the following is not true about Nellie Bly? Number 4, which of the following is not mentioned as something that Nellie Bly did to get a good story? Let's check. The correct answer is Nellie Bly was mentally ill. It is not mentioned that Nellie Bly was ill. Yes, we have here something similar, but it says she faked mental illness. That right away tell me that this is wrong, that this is not true. And for D, she worked as a doctor in a mental hospital. It says here that she faked illness to be admitted in a mental hospital to get a picture of the treatment of the mental patient. But it doesn't say that she was there as a doctor. It just said that she pretended. Let's look at the questions for this text. It says, according to the passage, the Kanawida was not, these are my options, which of the following is not mentioned in the passage about wampum? And these are the answers. 5D, drowned when he was young. This is not mentioned in the passage. This is not true. And number 6A, it was used extensively by the Huron. This is not mentioned about the wampum. Another type of question in reading will ask you to find pronoun reference. They will ask you to determine to which noun a pronoun refers. For example, you will have a passage and then the question will say, the pronoun they in line 5 refers to. Yeah, so I see that here's a pronoun. In the exam, the word will not be in bold letter, but it will tell you in which line and paragraph the question, the pronoun can be found. How can you identify the questions? Well, it will ask you directly. The pronoun in the line refers to which of the following? Now, where can you find the answers to this question? The line where the pronoun is located is given in the question. So you don't have to scan through all the text and to find the pronoun. The noun that the pronoun refers to will be before the pronoun. So what can you do? Well, first locate the pronoun in the question that is being posed. Look before the pronoun for nouns that agree with it. Try each of the nouns in the context in the place of the pronoun in case you don't know right away to which it refers. And start eliminating wrong answers and choosing the best one, the one that makes more sense from the remaining options. Okay, let's practice. And we have the pronoun it in line 2 refers to, so I have to go to line 2, and here I have my pronoun it. It refers to what? I have to read the sentence before to know what it refers to. Look at the word they in the passage. This one. Click on the word or phrase that they refers to. Again, that will be before. Okay? I'm sorry. And let's check the answers. Number 1, C. The harvest moon. It is a bright moon. So they're talking about a type of moon. Which one? The harvest moon. Number 2, farmers. They can work. Who can work? I'll go back. It is a bright moon which allows farmers to work late. They can work when the moon is at the brightest. I know that they're talking about the farmers. Let's look at the questions. 3. The pronoun it in line 2, this is my line 2, refers to, there, this is my pronoun. Look at the word in the passage. Click on the word or phrase that they refers to. And I'll look for they. I'll scan quickly. And I see that is here, they, where they take part. And we already have the answers here, A and tourists. A, Mardi Gras. It says, from that time, it has grown in popularity. What has grown? Mardi Gras. And number four, tourists. It says they take part in a week of non-stop activities. Now, if I go back, I know it says tourists. Tourists from various countries flock to New Orleans. They take part. Hold on, let me, there. Because you're seeing the answers way before you can actually work on it. Hmm. Okay, I think it's ready. There. Okay, so it says the pronoun they in line 3, I go to line 3 and I have here they, refers to, remember, go back to the previous sentence or previous line to find out. Number 6, look at the word it in the passage. Click on the word or phrase that it refers to. Now I'm going to scan through the text to find the word it, and I see that is here. It is often used, so go back before to find what it refers to. Okay, now let's look at this one. We have, according to the passage, the National University of the United States. Look at the word he, it's right over here. Click on the word or phrase that he refers to. Now, number 3 is asking me to choose indicate that George Washington did not do. What did he not do? What is not true or not stated? Which of the following is not mentioned about Andrew Carnegie? And finally, the pronoun it refers to. Here's the pronoun it. Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time on this one. And here are the answers. Number 1, B, does not exist. Number 2, George Washington. Number 3, D, he succeeded in establishing a national university. That is not mentioned. That is not true. Number 4, B, he was member of Congress. And number 5, C, the original idea. Okay, I'll let you work individually on this one. And here are the answers. Number 6 is D. Number 7, D. I am sorry. Well, I eliminated letter number 8 because it was a drawing, and because of the scanning, the image is not very clear. Number 9 is tar. Number 10, C. And 11, D. We have time for one more. So let's work on this one. And here are the answers. Number 12 is B. 13, Camp David. 14, C. 15, B. 16, B. And 17, B. Okay, so we're all finished for today. On the next class, we will continue practicing with reading, and we will also practice listening. Ready? Okay, well, good evening, everybody. I hope these tips will serve you for your TOEFL test. Bye bye.